So who were you in a past life, Ralph? Well, I was a very rich person. I was a very kind person. I was a very generous person. I helped out a lot of people in my past life. Well, obviously, you're not exactly going to say you were a really shitty person, are you? Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here in nature, baby. Another beautiful day in Jurassic Park. I'm sending you tons of great energy. Deep divers, did you just feel that? Take that, take that, take that. Great energy I'm sending you. We're just, woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Rocking our own clothes as usual. Now, do you remember your past life? Do you remember who you were before this person? Do you sometimes want to learn more about who you were in a past life? Do you believe in past lives? Well, a lot of people write to me about past life experiences. I've also had past life experiences. Now, we are going to dive deep into past lives. 9 signs of your past life, because a lot of people are like, Ralph, I'm sure I've been to this planet before. It looks awfully familiar. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Is that you? Are you starting to feel like you've already been here on planet Earth before? Are you starting to remember who you were in a past life? The great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, whatever we do now echoes on into eternity. Slow motion this side. Many sages and great masters throughout time have spoken about reincarnation, past lives, that energy can never be destroyed, it can only be transferred. Ever seen a baby and think, gosh, that's an old soul? Are you someone who feels way older than you actually are? Are you someone who feels like you've already been here before? Are you someone who remembers your past life? The first sign of your past life is your name. Now, a lot of us, we don't choose our name. At birth, Ralph Smart. Yes, someone named me Ralph. My wonderful mom, right? I like that name, but it's not my name. Oh no, it's not my name. To really remember who you were in a past life, you have to name yourself. It is the name that you give to yourself, and this is what they knew in ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, in Sumeria, in ancient cultures. You would reach a certain age after the rites of passage, and you would give yourself a name. Now, this name is a link to who you were in your past life. So, what is my alias? Infinite Waters. That's my true name. Now, What do you get from infinite waters? An ocean. We can link that into hydromancy, water divination. Yes, in my past life, I was chilling by the ocean, eating a whole bunch of grapes. I'm also a Pisces. So water is very dear to me. Plus, we are over 75% water. There's a lot of water in my life right now. But what am I doing right now? I'm inspiring millions of people. That is also a link to my past life. I'm infinite waters. And that's why I connect with so many different people. I don't care about what color you are, because that's all an illusion. It's about your energy. Slow motion this side. And that's why I keep expanding and expanding and expanding, because I'm reaching every kind of being you can imagine. What is your name? In South America, Africa, they had names so long, you couldn't even pronounce them. And in ancient times, many people's names were verbs. Flowing water. Moving man. It was something that someone did. Every name had a deep significance. It had a meaning. It wasn't just Bob and Bill and Laura. That's great though. But your name had a deeper meaning. And that's why many ancient cultures, they would name someone according to what they were doing. Now, this is a link to who you were in your past life. Many MCs give themselves an alias. Okay? And their alias name, Logic, right? Whatever it is also a link to their past life, because it's who they identify with the most, right? So ask yourself, in a quiet time in meditation, what is my true name? What name best defines me right now in my life? It could be the Magnificent One. It could be Waterman. It could be Firewoman. It could be Open Heart. That is a link to who you were in a past life, because the name you give yourself is the name who you were before this incarnation. Stop it, Ralph. Slow motion this side. What is the second sign of your past life? Now, Dr. Ian Stevenson of the University of Virginia Medical School studied past lives for over 50 years. He traveled extensively for 40 years, and he investigated over 3,000 cases, and a lot of children were recalling their past life experiences from all around the world, having strange birthmarks, strange memories, strange phobias, and this is not an accident. But he spoke about in his research, and really check it out, deep divers, about prophetic dreams. And I've seen this along my journey. That is a sign of your past life. Prophetic dreams. Reoccurring dreams. You see, dreams are real. And this is what the ancients knew. That there is no difference between a dream or reality. Just like in the Matrix, what is real? But electrical signals interpreted by your brain. So many times, if you are having dreams about being in certain locations at certain time periods, this is a link to who you were in a past life. I'm always dreaming of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, right? Because I know that I was a priest in one of my past lives in a mystery school. Okay, in ancient Egypt, they had the mystery schools where people would learn higher knowledge. And that's why I'm such a great orator, right? I love to talk. I love to connect with people. I didn't just learn this right now. I've been doing this in many different incarnations. So if you are having prophetic dreams about usually the same thing. You're in a certain place, you're doing certain things. Really get a dream journal, because that's a link to who you were before this incarnation. Reoccurring dreams, deja vu, you keep seeing the flipping cat down the road, baby. That's a link to your past life. What is the third sign of your past life? Deep divers, what I've seen along my journey is area of interest, okay? This is huge. This is why certain people are drawn to certain things and certain people aren't. Our area of interest. I'm drawn to nature. I got $100,000 studio, a wonderful studio, but I choose to come to nature because this is my area of interest. Nature is alive, is living, is breathing. Plus I'm also, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. My area of interest involves skateboarding, ancient cultures, 7-day vegan challenge, beautiful food, right? But also primarily becoming my greatest version. You see, I'm sure you got a friend, deep divers, who's always partying, going to a club. They call it a club because you're being beaten to death. Never mind, we'll come to that later. That was me, right? At a certain period in my life, just going out partying all the time. That's great. But then I realized, actually, I really came here to be something spectacular. I realized I couldn't get away with what my other friends were doing because I was getting past life flashbacks. That my area of interest was really in helping people, inspiring people, right? So what is your area of interest? As soon as you wake up, what is your primary focus? That is a link to who you were in a past life. Certain people is architecture. Certain people is physics. Certain people is fashion. All of these interests we have, these passions we have, is a link to who we were in a past life. What is the fourth sign of your past life that I've seen along my journey? Your level of consciousness. Now, consciousness is awareness. The truth won't be televised. The revolution won't be televised. You see, I've realized this, deep divers, that your level of consciousness, what you know right now, is a link to your past life. I realize that I know I'm a multidimensional being having a human experience. I also know I'm infinite. I also know that no one ever really dies, and that's what nerd stands for. I know my true power, but I'm still learning more. Your level of consciousness. I'm a deep diver. That's the link to my past life. I'm on a quest for knowledge. I'm on a quest for higher knowledge, wisdom, and expansion. This is a link to my past life. Many of us, we come into this 3D reality with our eyes closed, even though our eyes are open. In other words, we are sleepers. We are sleeping. We are desensitized and dumbed down. However, many of us come into this incarnation woke, awake, and aware of the Maya, the illusion world. That's a link to who you were in a past life. Because now you came in with your third eye open, you know what time it is, and time is an illusion anyway, right? So your level of consciousness, the amount of awareness you have, is a link to your past life. Are you someone who always wants to know the truth behind everything? Well, from a past life, you are probably someone who was always diving deep, asking questions, realizing it's all BS belief systems, and therefore challenging even your own belief systems. What is the fifth sign of your past life, deep divers, 7-day vegan challenge? Let's just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Your affinity to certain foods. what you like, what you don't like. Also, your care for animals or your neglect and distaste for animals. Your compassion towards animals or your incompassionate ways towards animals. I love animals, so much so that I don't eat them because I realize that what goes around comes around. Nearly 70 billion animals are killed every single year. In this incarnation, I said, I'm not going to partake in it because in the last incarnation, I started to realize the value of animals. That actually I didn't come here just to consume animals. Animals are here to be loved. And that's why I've been a vegan for nearly 14 years. Because I know that it's about honoring all life forms. Now, this is a link to my past life. The kinds of foods you are drawn to. The amount of care you show to other life forms on the planet is a link to your past life. Shout out to everybody who loves a cat down the road. What is the sixth sign of your past life? Your affinity to certain cultures. Growing up, I used to listen to this song, Garota de Ipanema, The Girl from Ipanema, by the wonderful composer Tom Jobim. They actually got an airport after him in Rio de Janeiro, right? I've been there. The Rio, amazing place. His song, The Girl from Ipanema, I remember when I was in university just listening to that song, thinking of the beauty of that song. It actually took me to Brazil. Now, that was mentally. Then I actually went physically to Brazil. And I fell in love with it. Such a beautiful place. But I learned how to speak Portuguese fluently in less than 6 months. Where did this come from? And traveling to the different states, I actually went to Salvador, Fortaleza, Recife, Rio de Janeiro. I went all around Brazil. And I'm like, I definitely lived in Brazil before in a past life. And I was able just to pick up the language so quickly, Portuguese so quickly. And I'm like, I didn't just learn all of this in this incarnation. If you are someone who's drawn to certain cultures, it could be Amharic culture in Ethiopia, Igbo culture in Nigeria, South America, Ireland, wherever it is, if you are drawn to certain cultures, that's a link to who you were in a past life, because we are often in places which we have been to before. Okay, that's why many people always go back to their old school. Right? So our affinity to certain cultures, what culture are you most enamored by? Which culture do you naturally have a proclivity to always learn more about and immerse yourself in? That's a link to who you were in a past life. Deep divers. What is the seventh? Oh, baby. The seventh sign of your past life. People remind you of it. People will remind you who you were in a past life. You see, I've realized this, that people always tell me, Ralph, your videos have really helped me. I don't say my videos are helping people. People tell me that before I tell them that. They're like, Ralph, your video really touched me. Ralph, you're a healer. You're a mind doctor. I watch your videos and I'm instantly healed. Once again, this goes back to my past life in ancient Kemet or Egypt, where I was a priest in the mystery schools. Born on March 3rd, that's 33. Alignment is in my birth chart. Slow motion this side. People remind you who you are People remind you who you were in a past life by just saying, okay, you make me feel like this. You're like this, right? So always listen out to what people are saying to describe you by, because that's a link to who you were in a past life. Oh, you're a really mean person. You probably haven't opened your heart. Probably were a really mean person in a past life too. Or you're a really generous person. You were probably someone who was opening their house to everybody, including the cat down the road. So kind. What is the 8th sign of your past life? Unresolved issues. Whatever we do now, like the emperor said, Marcus Aurelius, echoes on into eternity. Whatever we do right now echoes on into eternity. Unresolved issues. Also, what we don't do right now echoes on into eternity. You see, we start off from where we left off. That's a link to our past life. If you are a very lazy person, you will continue to be a lazy person unless you make a change. If you are someone who is always just, getting outside, coming into nature, this stays with you. This energy frequency stays with you if you are continually doing it to the next incarnation. I love coming into nature. Hence, I was coming into nature a lot in my past life. I was in open spaces, beautiful beaches, eating a lot of pineapple. That's a link to who I was in a past life. However, I'm no saint. There are still things I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself with things I've got to really change about myself to level up. We all are. And that's also a link to our past life, our strengths and our weaknesses, what we need to work on to become our greatest version. Okay? That's all a link to who you were in a past life. What is the 9th sign of your past life? Deep divers, specific talents. I wake up and I play the guitar. And I love the guitar. I love bossa nova music. There's one thing you have to know about Ralph Smart. I love bossa nova music, and I learned how to play a lot of bossa nova songs on the guitar because I just fell in love with it. But the guitar, like my wonderful guitar teacher said, is a gateway to other dimensions. Certain instruments you're drawn to. Do you love to play the piano? Do you love to sing? Are you a good boxer? Are you a gymnast, right? Are you a basketball player? Are you a scientist? Are you a great motivator? Your specific talents. Are you a great artist? That you come in to with your specific talents that you come in with in this incarnation is a link to who you were in a past life. Ever wondered why certain people have certain abilities? Okay. Certain people come in learning and they can play the guitar. They can play the piano. They can play the violin just like that. They don't need many lessons. They've got a natural talent for it. These natural talents we have are links to our past life. So there you have it, deep divers. In my past life, I was just definitely saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Beautiful deep divers, you are truly appreciated. We're just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What? What? I want one, Ralph. You want one? Shout out to everybody who's been getting one. Getting the good ass prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes. Shout out to everybody who's been getting the new book by Ralph Smart on Amazon called Feel Alive by Ralph Smart. Check out the amazing Instagram at Infinite Waters, at us there. Deep divers, have a beautiful day. Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy, peace. So it looks like we figured out who we were in a past life. Yeah! Killed it!